Episode 155. So Haley meets Randy at Uptown, and the waiter asks Haley, wasn't she the woman who had the medical emergency? And she tells him she had a miscarriage, and then she says that she thanks Randy, aka Sammy, because he got her to the hospital. And so they're just sitting there trying to act like they don't know each other. Next, Vanessa and Dani walks into Uptown and sees Haley with Randy, aka Sammy. So Dani tells Vanessa that Haley's with the guy who took Haley to the hospital the night of the miscarriage. So Dani says that his name is Sammy, and Vanessa tells her his name ain't Sammy, his name is Randy. And then Vanessa tells her she's known Randy for years. Next, Pamela is on the phone with the one and only Ridge Forrester from The Bold and the Beautiful. So Ridge, on The Bold and Beautiful, if you don't watch the soap, Ridge Forrester runs a luxury fashion house in LA with his dad. And so Ridge and his dad, Eric, they design dresses. And I mean, I've loved the show. I've watched it from day one because it's so glamorous. You know, they do these fashion shows. Like they just went to Italy about a month or so ago, and they were actually in Italy on site filming the soap. And so, yeah, The Bold and Beautiful, I just love how they incorporate that. Like, it makes you think that they really are like a fashion house because it looks like it. Looks like they make it look realistic, I should say. So anyway, the guy who plays Ridge, his name is Thorsten Kaye, and he's not the original Ridge. The original Ridge was Ron Moss, but something happened and Ron, I don't know if Ron was fired, but anyway, the position of Ridge Forrester came up, and Thorsten Kaye, he played Zach on All My Children. So when All My Children ended, that position, Ridge Forrester position came about, and he took it, and he's done a great job with being Ridge. I mean, he's done it for so long now that only us people who've been watching for day one know that there was another Ridge. So anyway, on The Bold and the Beautiful, Ridge is married to Brooke, longtime sweetheart who off and on, he's been married to her so many different times. So anyway, so it's a whole story there, but that just kind of gives you the basic. And Ridge has children by another woman, Taylor, I think, 2 kids, one died, and then he has like one child with Brooke. And so that kind of gives you the rundown on Mr. Ridge Forrester. So Pamela tells Ridge that they're in the process, Ridge called and told Pamela he has something that he wants to talk to her and Dani about, and he was asking Pamela, was she and Dani still trying to relaunch Dani's career? And Pamela tells her, yeah, they're working on it. So Ridge says he has a proposition for them, that Forrester wants to create a fragrance line. And I thought that was weird because on the soap there's already a lady, Daphne. She's some fragrance expert from France, and she works on the fragrance line, but she creates her own. But anyway, I'm sidetracking. So anyway, Ridge tells Pamela that Forrester wants to create a fragrance line that is based on Dani and Andre, because he saw the when Dani and Andre kissed at the Vegas wedding. He says that it went viral, and so anyway, Ridge said he saw it and he wants to do a whole campaign, like photo shoot, commercials, all that kind of stuff. And he says that he would like to talk to Dani and Andre about it. So Pamela tells him that she will need to talk to them and she will get back to him. So that sounds exciting, but I mean, for sure Dani will do it, but I don't think Andre will. Next, Bill's meeting with the private investigator he hired, and he tells the private investigator before he tells him anything, he's having second thoughts and he's thinking about pulling the plug on the investigation because he's looking petty. It's like, why are you looking into that man's background? Nobody looked into Haley's background, and that's the background he should have been looking into because this chick is a straight up con artist. So instead of worried about Andre, we should have been worried about Miss Haley. So the private investigator tells Bill something is off with Andre, and he says prior to a year ago, Andre was photographed in public all the time, and it's been a year since he's last been photographed. So the private investigator says that his wedding photo is the only photo that Andre's taken in public in a year. And so the investigator believes something's off, and he tells Bill it could be something to check out. So anyway, he tells Bill he will leave it up to him if he wants him to dig more into Andre. So Bill tells him to keep going. Of course Bill does. Next, Dani tells Vanessa about the night Haley miscarried and how Randy, aka Sammy, jumped in to help. So she tells Vanessa she remembers his name clearly, and Vanessa tells her his name is Randy, and she knows him because he was one of Doug's best friends. He grew up with him, so she's known him for years. So Vanessa says maybe he lied about his name because he works for Joey Armstrong, and he was on Joey's bad side at the time. Next, Randy delivers the poison and tells Haley that someone who knows him is sitting with her husband's ex. So he texts Haley to use a little of the poison at a time and let it build up, and then watch Bill's ticker stop. And I was like, damn, that's cold-blooded, these two. Wow, I ain't even think Randy had that in him. Next, Haley walks over to Dani and Vanessa's table at Uptown, and she tells Vanessa about a fictitious friend who wants to buy a house. And Dani asks her, is it her friend Sammy who wants to buy a house? And then Dani says that Sammy is his name, right? And then Haley looks at her like, yeah. And then Haley goes into Dani's daughters being at the get-together she held for Bill's birthday, and how Bill is going to be around for many more birthdays. And this chick is just so damn diabolical. Next, Joey asks Randy to explain why he was with Bill Hamilton's wife, and I'm going to love to hear his explanation. Next, Dani asks Vanessa is she anxious about Donnell going back to school because his being home interferes with her relationship with Joey Armstrong. And that's exactly what it is. Vanessa gets upset, and then Dani tells her she's concerned, and Nicole is too. And she lets her know that Joey is not the person she should lean on because he's dangerous. But what Dani failed to realize is Vanessa don't care. And so Vanessa gets bold and says maybe she likes it that way. And she ain't lying. She likes it that way. And it ain't nothing that Dani or Nicole can say. So they might as well just let her go on down in flames with Joey, because nothing good is going to come out of it. Next, Randy tells Joey that he and Haley see each other every now and then. And Joey tells him he better make sure it doesn't get back to Bill Hamilton. Next, Pamela tells Dani that Forrester wants to create a fragrance line centered around her and Andre. So Dani is excited, but Andre's not. And Dani says to Andre, yesterday he didn't want to model when she and Pamela proposed it to him, but she wants to know if he's changed his mind. And I'm starting to think that maybe the private investigator was right. Something's going on with Andre. It's like he's hiding something and he doesn't want to be photographed. That's really weird. Andre tells Dani that he wants to be the photographer and they can get a model to act as her husband. And why would they do that? That doesn't even make sense. So Dani says to Pamela, we can make that happen, right? And Pamela's looking at her like, no, because Ridge wants to center the fragrance around the picture of her and Andre getting married. So how the hell are they going to get somebody else? So Ridge specifically, and that's what Pamela tells her, that Ridge specifically said that the photo of Dani and Andre kissing at the Vegas wedding is what he wants to capture with the fragrance and campaign. Next, Jacob and Naomi make love and Jacob gets a text from work to send a report. So he opens up the laptop Naomi was using and sees the results of Naomi's pregnancy test. She took a blood test and it says that she's not pregnant. But I think Naomi got Ashley to change the results. Maybe not, but that's what I think. So, because in a previous episode, Naomi asked Ashley for a favor, and I think the favor was for Ashley to change the results. So Jacob says to Naomi, so he's not going to be a father, and why didn't she tell him? And then Naomi tells him that she was happy about the results, but she knew he wasn't going to be happy. Of course he wasn't. Next, Vanessa tells Joey she wants to be an equal, so she wants to be his gangsta boo, I guess. And it seems exciting now, and I said that before until it doesn't. And with Joey, something always happens. So it's just really trifling of her that it's just all about Joey. It seems like, her husband just died. She cried a little bit, but she's all on Joey's bandwagon. It's like nothing matters but Joey. Next, Pamela tells Dani and Andre Ridge specifically asks for them as a couple. And so Pamela says Andre has to model besides her. And she says that Forrester can give the offer to another couple. So Dani begs Andre to say yes and to do it for her because it's her dream. And he probably won't. And she needs to find out what's going on with that. Seriously. Why is he so adamant about not being photographed? Next, Haley makes love to Bill and makes him a drink, putting the poison Randy gave her in it. And that ends the episode.